Alrighty guys, on today's video we're going to be working out a tier list as far as my personal take on neckwoods for electric guitars. Let's have some fun. A lot of great information. Check out Wood Database if you're a geek, you like learning about different types of like woods, whether it be like neckwoods, top woods, maybe you're just a woodworker, luthier enthusiast, something like that. Really a lot of good information on there, so be sure to check that out. And keep in mind, guys, this video is for fun. A lot of this is going to come down to personal opinions, kind of subjective. So let's not take this too seriously. Let's have some fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and rank some neckwoods. All right, so starting off, guys, pretty straightforward here. We're going to go with a classic maple. So this is pretty much standard issue across the board. Most guitars, I think this is worthy of an A rating, especially being if it's a quality piece of quarter sawn maple. It's going to be a lot more stable than say like a basic flat sawn piece of wood. From there, let's get into some of the others. Mahogany. Mahogany, guys, I've never been a big fan of it. I do see that oftentimes it has the tendency to kind of break. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a little soft, a little weak. I'm going to give it a C. So yeah, Gibson fanboys are probably roasting me in the comment section right now. Hey, it is what it is, man. Just mahogany being a little weaker, guys, I can't really put it too high on the list here. Next up, one of my personal favorites, guys, walnut. Walnut, if you guys have never played a walnut neck, you guys are just absolutely tripping. This one absolutely is going to be an S tier. It's one of those darker woods. If you get tired of that same old, that plain, boring maple, you want like a darker type of wood for a neck. Dude, walnut's awesome, man. Super comfortable, super smooth. It does have some visible grain pattern in it, but it's still very smooth to the touch. All right, next on the list, black limba. Black limba, I'm gonna be honest with you, not a fan. Not a big fan of black limba for a number of reasons. I mean, it does look cool, don't get me wrong, but it has a very rough, coarse grain texture. It's also a little bit on the weaker side in comparison to some of these other woods. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one a D. Sorry, I said what I said. Paduk, awesome. Big fan of paduk. I'm gonna give this one an A. It is a really interesting, like naturally red colored wood. It is a little bit on the heavier side. I do know that a lot of like builders, woodworkers, they tend not to want to work with it just because it can cause some pretty serious allergies as far as like all the dust when working with it. So a lot of places are not gonna offer paduk, but if you ever get your hands on one, dude, they feel pretty awesome. I used to have the old Chapman Rabia massage signature with the paduk neck, and man, it was nice. Wenge, I'm gonna give it a B rating just because it is a strong, stable wood. It does have a really beautiful figured grain pattern, just depending on especially how it's cut. But honestly, it can be a little bit coarse. It can definitely have sometimes a little bit more texture, and definitely can cause some splinters as well, you know, if it's not treated properly. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a B. I like this a little bit better for like laminations as far as like those thinner strips. So if you're thinking about doing a wenge neck, there's something to bear in mind. Rosewood, I'm gonna put it right here, same level. I'm gonna give it a B rating. It definitely has a nice kind of roasty, like sort of chocolatey figuring in there, which does look really good. It is a very heavy, dense wood. Sometimes it can become a little bit brighter. You know, some people describe that just as far as like how that affects the tone. Hey, again, it's personal preference, man. Personal preference. Let's not get too hurt in our feelings about it, but it is a little bit of a heavier wood, as with a lot of these other like exotic woods. If you get a higher end guitar, like an American made like Fender, possibly like some of the Music Man's, occasionally you will see like a rosewood neck, but yeah, they feel really good, a little bit dense, a little bit heavy, and kind of expensive as well. Purpleheart's pretty awesome. I'm gonna put that right up there on the A tier. For laminations, I think it definitely adds some nice color. Purpleheart over time though, it does fade to kind of a brown. So like that's why I don't really like it, especially like for fretboards. It's also an extremely like heavy wood, as with a lot of these. So I think a one-piece Purpleheart neck would probably just be ridiculously heavy. And again, it's just not gonna stay purple for long. So you'll see most builders are typically gonna only use that for like neck laminations. And then definitely last but not least, ovangkol. If you guys have never played an ovangkol neck, dude, totally awesome. I used to have a Warwick Corvette bass. It had a 3-piece ovangkol neck. Dude, that thing was, I mean, absolute butter, man. I mean, beautiful figuring. It's got that kind of rich, like golden tan color. Super smooth. No rough, coarse texture or anything like that. So yeah, I'd highly recommend if you get your hands on one. Something else I'll just mention while I have your attention, with regard to maple, again, maple's pretty plain, pretty straightforward. There's obviously going to be different variants. Flame maple, another one, really, really nice. But with flame maple, it typically is a little bit softer. So I'm not the biggest fan of flame maple for a shaft wood as far as an actual neck. And lastly, roasted maple. I've never personally been a big fan of it. I know the past couple years, I feel like it's just kind of a thing that's been on the rage. Everybody seems to want roasted everything, which, dude, that's totally cool. Reading a little bit further into it, I have seen some instances where obviously the kiln drying process, you are baking the wood. It's gonna become more brittle, it's gonna become more dry. So I do know that just depending on how everything's going, the neck profile, the treatment process, all those different types of factors with temperature. Sometimes there have been some reports where the roasted maple is more susceptible to cracking. Again, just something to bear in mind when looking at like these different woods. But again, you go with what you like, man. If you're a happy camper with X, Y, or Z, if you agree, totally disagree, hey man, not a huge deal. It's all good. And yeah, hopefully we'll do some more of these tier rating lists. So those are my picks today as far as different types of neck woods. That'll wrap it up for this one, guys. Be sure to share your comments down below. Let me know your take as far as all these different types of woods. So subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Okay, the irony of today's video topic being around different types of neck woods, just check this out. Just got finished, my wife helping me extract a splinter from my finger. I just literally left a restaurant. I went to go push in a chair, and yeah, I got a splinter. And dude, so much pain. Look at this right there. Barely see it, dude, but this is what I'm talking about, guys. Neck wood. What are the chances of that, guys? Crazy. Soaking my hand, Epsom salt, tweezers, Band-Aid, just pain, misery. Yeah.